Hey guys, I'm Elise.
And I'm Malia.
And today we're going to talk about buying versus renting a home.
The big decision.
So first off, buying a home is expensive AF.
If you haven't looked at house prices, just check it out.
Yeah, go on Zillow.
It does not, you don't get as much house as you think you do. But on the other hand, renting isn't free either. And so you're not building equity, you're not, gaining any investment, nothing like that. So buying might still be a good choice.
So before you make the big decision, here are a few things to consider.
First, is your rent more than a mortgage on an equivalent property or a property that you could live with? For example, in Arkansas, the average monthly rent is $1,050, but the average monthly mortgage is only $769.
Which is crazy.
That's a big
Move
difference.
to Arkansas.
That said, we know our housing market is not typical, but you can look up what the housing market is like in your area. Renting may be cheaper for you.
Next up, can you make a down payment of at least 20%? If not, your monthly mortgage is going to be a lot more expensive. A $150,000 house without a 20% down payment can easily turn into $1,000 plus monthly payment.
Plus, a 20% down payment is always a good test to see if you're really there financially. If you can't save up that much money, you may not be able to handle the unexpected expenses. But it might be worth it for you to go ahead and start saving for a down payment if you haven't yet. But first, think about where are you going to be in the next 5-10 years. I don't know, Elise might have kids in 10 years. I will not, but I'll still have dogs. So I need somewhere with a yard. Will I be in the same town? If you won't, renting is way more flexible and you're more portable. But if you're gonna be in the same town for a while, you might be able to build equity by buying a home.
Yeah, if you plan on living like Rory Gilmore, first, stop, but second of all, keep renting.
But if you're gonna be Lorelai, buy your house.
Mm-hmm. That's a good way to put it. That's a good metaphor. Go us. Also, how's your credit score? If it's not so great, the bank probably won't give you a whole lot of monies.
Or you won't get a good interest rate or whatever. And honestly, if your credit score is not so great, you probably have some things to clean up in your financial house before you buy a real house.
And some landlords might report to the credit bureau, so renting is actually a really easy way to up your credit score.
The next thing that you need to consider about home ownership, your handy dandy landlord is no longer there when your garbage disposal breaks or your dishwasher stops working. If your house needs a new roof, that's on you.
It's coming out of your pocket.
Other responsibilities that you'll have as a homeowner will include property taxes to the US of A, well actually your state, but whatever, and then your homeowner's insurance. Those will both have to be paid for as well. So on the topic of fixing things, can you fix things yourself? It's a lot easier to own a home if you can handle small things yourself. Can you change out your faucet or whatever, or do you have to hire a plumber every time? That's gonna really affect your home ownership cost. So learn to do some basic DIY before buying a house, if possible.
We have an article on this. We will put the link in the description. Last but not least, is renting keeping you from doing something you just really want to do, whether it's painting your home or if you're renting from somewhere that's not pet friendly and you want 5 dogs, 5 pit bulls, then you need to buy a house.
Or if you want to have kids or whatever. I mean, I know my rental property is keeping me from having my perfect Instagram accent wall.
Me too.
Buying a home is a big financial decision, and if you're renting, you're not sure whether to take the leap, there are tons of tools out there that can help you make that decision. Mortgage calculators, home market analyzation things.
Once again, we will put these in the description.
Yeah, it's like internet magic, and you put in numbers and it tells you whether to make a smart decision or not. And so they will help you decide what's the best for you, and we'll put them in the bio. But it's really good to look at the numbers. You don't want to make this an emotional decision, but of course your emotions come into play.
Just try to keep it 20 or 30% emotion and the rest of it logic and numbers.
If more than 30% emotion happens, shut it down.
No emotion.
So to wrap up, is your rent more expensive than a mortgage would be? Can you make a 20% down payment? What's your life going to look like in 5 to 10 years?
How's your credit score? Are you ready for the responsibilities of home ownership? Can you fix things yourself? Is renting keeping you from doing something you really want to do? Okay guys, if you have questions, leave them in the comments below, and don't forget to give us thumbs up and subscribe. Boom. That's it.